Hi guys, welcome to the first video I guess that I am speaking to you in 2022. So we have had a few things since last I was talking to you, I guess. So we had Christmas and we've had New Year, so I hope you all had a really lovely one. Today we're going to go through an art haul kind of a few things, a few months leading up to Christmas. I actually have another package from earlier on in the year that Jackson's was really kind enough to resend. It just got lost or something like that. And yeah, a few things my sister got me for Christmas as well. So yeah, it is quite a long one, and last week I just was not able to do the voiceover. So the first thing that I'm showing you here, this is not exactly an art related item, but I do use my planner for art and for making little sketches and things like that. So I'm kind of going to show you how I do that now. So this is a Chic Sparrow. This is the March Hare. And so it's, you can see it's like it's kind of a suede material, really soft, and it's a really light color. So it's very also lightweight planner. This is the B6, and so in this I have a Leuchtturm monthly. So I got this one from Jet Pens, and you can see how I'm using the monthly here. I've been thinking to possibly just use this as more like a color a day. So I was recommended maybe last Christmas the Cerruti Color a Day book, which I still would really like to get. I think it's a beautiful book, and I will link that below as well. But this one I'm kind of using like that, so I'll show you. We're kind of just looking through what's in here now. So you only get pretty much just your monthlies literally at the front, and then just the whole thing is a dot grid notebook. So it's quite nice if you just want a little bit of extra space for planning or something like that at the beginning. But I realized it's not going to work for what I need, kind of a little bit of a daily as well. So yeah, I mean, you could put your dailies in there, but I just like to have that there, so if I skip a day or something, I can just go back to it. So this one is a Tomorrow River paper one, also from Jet Pens, and I had never heard of it before, but I was looking up just B6 planners, and you can see it's vertical, which I really like. You can go down the side here and kind of have your, you know, morning, lunch, afternoon, and evening schedule, and you can kind of put that in for the week. And then it's got some notes pages at the end, and I wasn't actually sure how I would use this or like this, because Tomorrow River paper, I'm not really the biggest fan of it, especially like when you're planning and you can kind of see through to the other side and things. So but I actually found that I have been really enjoying it. So I've been using the Kaweco Sport, I think I have the silver, and it's the extra fine, and it's been really beautiful on the pages. You can see here I'm also using this Travels notebook. It's a little folder, so the end of it is like the bottom of it is closed in, and you just kind of tuck things in the side. And I've been using this as a place marker for my dailies. So yeah, you could see there where I stopped the monthlies there at the last footage. I've now gone up to today, so I am just kind of showing you how that kind of ends up getting filled in over the month, and you can see even the shift in color. So this is kind of got more like those vintage colors, more monochromatic. You can see here I've also been filling in the dailies, and you can see that there is like some ghosting with the pen there, but there isn't any bleed through. The extra fine, I've really had a hard time using that. It's just been too fine on any other paper, but it's really nice on this paper. So it's always an interesting thing to, like, you know, revisit something that you have and that didn't work in one way, and maybe it can work you know, for something else. Yeah, so I forgot to mention as well, so I got this in the Chic Sparrow. They've had a huge overstock sale. I think I did mention it somewhere in the advent calendar, so that was a really nice surprise, and I think that yeah, a lot of people were kind of getting quite a few things in the overstock sale, so yeah, it was really helpful. And then here is kind of the majority of what we are going to look at today. So the first thing that I want to show you is this white Ibis, and I did mention this again before in the advent calendar, but I really love this. So this is from Holbein, and I got this one from Fine Arts Studio, I think. I'll link it below, but the cover's beautiful, the paper inside's beautiful, the little cotton ribbons are really beautiful, and this would be a really nice one as well for plein air, because you can see, like, you can just open it up and then it makes a really sturdy and practical you know, place to paint on. And I really love the texture of the paper. You can see there the emblem that I did, and this is, I think, day 3 of the advent calendar. You can go back and I show you how to paint that, but I just kept layering and layering it to try and just test the paper, and I was really pleasantly surprised with how well it was glazing, how well it was lifting, and that it was drying quite quickly between layers. You know, obviously I could have plenty of time to paint, but I hate it when the paper just stays wet for a long time, and I think there's a lot of chemicals in the paper at that point. And so this was just drying, and I was able to sort of move around the painting. So as I had done like the sides, I could go back in to the middle section and things like that. So yeah, really pleased with the paper. I think the only downside is there are only 12 sheets, which is like 24 back and front, but I think for the price and everything, I think it's a really good value, and I think they did sell out already on Walmart.com. But so yeah, so we're going to look at these beautiful let me see. So so these are from Ocean Paper, and these are really stunning watercolors. I did skip the so I did get a new mechanical pencil, which I also really love. I wanted that to put a bit of gold in, the 1.0 gold, like for silver point, but it doesn't fit, but still it's a really beautiful mechanical pencil. But anyway, so these are the Ocean Paper watercolors, and you could see like the swatches there. So my favorite ones are this blush, which is kind of like a like an antique you know, shell pink sort of color. So you can see there's the blush. This is shell pink. So if you have a shell pink, you could add like a bit of Sedona, like a bit of a burnt sienna to it to create something like that as well. This one here is the silk grey, or it might just be silk, which is also such a beautiful color. And this one, I've been mixing this a lot, kind of something like this with the pale wisteria and like a brown. I think in the April favorites maybe we mix some colors like that. Just really gorgeous. This one here is the rose ochre, which again is just such a beautiful color. So if you were just going to get like 3 from their shop, I would really recommend those 3. They're really beautiful and unique colors. You can see also they are quite milky, they're opaque, which is something that I really don't mind, especially for these like the really pretty colors. This one here is the French clay, which I think is another one of their really popular colors. And then let's see, this is the beige. So because I had so many supplies and everything, I don't swatch them all exactly because it's just been a lot. So this one here is the mollusk. So we'll just go through and I kind of will show you some and you know, mix some, swatch some. So this one here is the stone ochre, which is also another really beautiful one. I've been finding that I've been using this one quite a lot. And then we have the brown pink, which is also a really stunning version of a brown. So then I got this orange. This is the fire coral. It looked really vibrant on their page, and I really like a good vibrant orange. It just reminds me of like the morning sun and, you know, life and energy. So I just also swatched the Daniel Smith Pyrrole Orange, which I think I still prefer a little bit, but I'm happy to have this one, and I'll put it in my handmade watercolors palette. So then you can see here, this is kind of my swatching and test page at the back of this white Ibis. And so I had like a rose there, and I just sort of layered, and I was just testing the watercolors on the paper and for glazing and everything, and I was really happy with how they perform. And yeah, they're just really beautiful. So they came in this little tin, and so I've taken a few out to put in like some other palettes, and then I have just created that little palette that I think will be really easy to kind of use in conjunction with whatever other palette that I've been enjoying. So, and I like to do that. I like to have a little palette that's kind of an extra supplementary palette. So this one here, so here, these are all the things in the haul that we're going to kind of talk through and go through now. So like I said, I won't necessarily swatch everything. I'll swatch some things and we'll mix some things and we'll talk through everything. But you can see at the bottom there are the ocean paper ones again. And yeah, just a lot of beautiful and different items here. So the Derwent Lightfast pencils there, which are also really gorgeous. But first I think we're going to get started with the Wallace & Seymour Ultramarine Violet. So that's a beautiful one, and I wanted that for my anyway, I'll talk about which palette I wanted it for. But then I also got the Violet Grey in the full pan from Wallace & Seymour, which I've never had before, and I'll show you later on in the video. It re-wets so beautifully. And then I also got the Lutea Grey. So this is from Strawberry Leaves, and it's a beautiful one. I've wanted to try this for a long time, and this is the kind of thing I like to use with the Jackson's affiliate money and try out some of these more expensive or different products to see, you know, what they're like. So I think this is probably the most expensive watercolor that I own. You can see it's really lovely. So if you want like plant-based, I would recommend them. Or if you're an artist looking for something special, I would recommend it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for beginners. And then this one here is the my second tube of the Wallace & Seymour Shimmer Iron Glimmer. So the first one was really hard to get out of the tube, and I think it was probably just sort of an older tube. I still love it, I still use it, but the next one you could see that it squeezed out really well, so it was really nice. And then you can see I've got the purple, chestnut, Bordeaux and taupe Derwent Lightfast pencils, which I absolutely love. Okay, so this one here will be coming up in our like a special gold, you know, like a video about golds. So this is the Lascaux, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's the it's an acrylic like shimmer, and you can see it's a very subtle one. Then I also got the this is my second bottle of the Sennelier Silver Ink, which I really love. But you can see, like with this Studio Bronze, I wanted to take the Winsor & Newton Gold ink and the Sennelier Silver ink and see if we could mix up a similar colour because it is an acrylic, you know, it does have just a slight smell. It's not actually as bad as some things. Sorry about that, I had to get the door. So yeah, so this is a really beautiful product, and you can see here, so I am using it without shaking it up, and it was a bit streaky, and then I just shook the bottle, and it just blends out so beautifully. And you can see, like, when it dries, it actually dries, so it sort of levels itself out and dries without paint marks, so it's really lovely like that as well. And then again, I'm just showing you the ocean paper here. I wasn't actually going to separately swatch those, so I sort of did the beginning footage after this. But yeah, you can see sort of a good representation of them there, really beautifully. And then this one is another gouache that we're gonna do in, you know, a more dedicated video. But you can see that I used it there for the shadows, which I really like as well. So we just sort of quickly went past the ink we'll come back to. This is the Schminke Sepia Reddish, and then the White Nights Caput Mortuum. So yeah, so you can see there the Bistra, the Sennelier shellac ink, and it's got like a shine. It's really beautiful. And then I mixed that with this FW De La Rowney white, and you can see that it comes again to that beautiful, like, smoky pale lavender grey sort of colour. And so I did the same thing with the two underneath it, mixing them with white. So this is a Blackwing, it's an old school Blackwing box, and I'm gonna make a little Roman Szmal palette in here. I really love these boxes. I wish they don't have them anymore. I wish they would go back to them because they're just so practical. But yeah, so these are the colours. Actually, the top one's a Van Dyke Brown, and then the bottom one is the Caput Mortuum, and then I mixed those with a white, which I will show you in a minute. And you can see, again, I'm looking for those really beautiful pale smoky lavender colours, but the Roman Szmals are really beautiful. Yeah, especially as, you know, for the price point, you're getting a lot of paint, and so I do highly recommend them. And then this one here is the Sennelier. Again, it's another one of their shellac inks, so it's got that shine, and it's just a really beautiful, vibrant, like purple pink. And I mixed it with the white there, and then there's the FW fluorescent pink. So this is also my second bottle of that, and I really love that. I think that was in my 2020 favourites as well. And then this is the Roman Szmal's Potter's Pink, which again is a really lovely version of Potter's Pink. Then there was the Holbein Luminous Red Pencil, which is gorgeous, and then a couple of the ocean paper ones again, the ocean paper paints that we've already gone over. And then this one here is the pale gold gouache. Again, this will be in another separate video. This as well is another really beautiful Holbein pencil. So this is the Ash Rose, and it's a similar colour to the, is that the Burnt Sienna 10% from the Derwent Luminous range? They're sort of slightly different, but they're generally the same. But this Luminous one, for some reason in the range, it's a little bit more scratchy. But yeah, the Holbein Ash Rose is just really creamy and lovely to use. Okay, so then we have the Genesis Green, the FW ink, which is so gorgeous, and then the Holbein Ice Green, that's a pencil. And then this is the Little Reverie Studio Aurora. It's like the Daniel Smith Duochrome Lapis Sunlight. And then this one is the White Nights Warm Green and the Naples Flesh And I wanted to compare this one to the Chinabressa, which is the one I'm pointing to, and then also the mollusk from the Ocean Paper. But the Chinabressa by Wallace and Szmal is one of my favourites. It's just got such a beautiful and soft and sheer tone to it. And I tried this one, which is this, the Roman Szmal's Flesh Tint, and I'd say it's the closest, so I'm still not 100% happy with it, but it is the closest. So then I'm also showing you the Malachite, the green gold, and the Glauconite from Roman Szmal's as well, which are kind of like green earths. They're really beautiful. And I'll show you a colour comparison with the warm green as well in a minute. But you can see there the Derwent Light Fast Middle Verdigris, and then the Derwent Drawing Pencils, the Pale Cedar and the Cool Grey. I forgot to swatch those in my last haul, just so you can see the colours. But this one I just wanted to show you here as well. This is the Wallace and Szmal full pan of the lavender grey, I think it is. And yeah, you can see how beautifully that re-wets. It's so lovely. So then this one is the Roman Szmal's Flesh Tint, and you can see it's got a very heavy dark application as opposed to the Chinabressa there. So, but when you water it down, it is pretty similar. So you've got to use actually quite a lot of water because it is a very saturated colour. So I'd say that's probably the best kind of, you know, to put instead of the Chinabressa. But I really recommend, I really love it. If you can get your hands on some of the Chinabressa, I do highly recommend it. I am looking for another tube. They don't have it in stock at the minute. But yeah, this is definitely, you know, a good substitute. And then this one here is also an amazing product. So you can see how large the ceramic dish is compared to a full pan and a half pan. And this is the Blocks White, and I got this one. I'm out of my Grumbacher Titanium White, which I think you guys have bought a lot of. So I couldn't get that online, and so then I was looking around for you know, an alternative, and like I do use white a lot. You can see, like, I love to mix it with these colours. So I'm again just mixing it with the Van Dyke Brown, the what did I say this one was, the Caput Mortuum, and the Potter's Pink, and then I'll swatch them above, you know, so you can see them full strength. But so I do go through a lot of white. I really like mixing colours with it and making these kind of milky, you know, smoky versions of these pastels. And so I was, you know, I had actually had this in my wish list from the very first days that I was looking into watercolor, and I wasn't sure, you know, I didn't really want to spend $20 on one whole thing. I didn't really know if it would be a good buy or not. So yeah, I am happy to say that they're absolutely beautiful. And you can also get them from St. Louis Art Supply within America. So yeah, love those. And I think I might just get a couple of those in colors that I know I use a lot of, like kind of like the Roman Szmal's ones, like the, you know, dark browns or violet earths or things like that. But yeah, so the next product here that we're going to talk about is so last year I think I showed in one of my hauls the Kaweco SketchUp, and it I think takes 5.6mm leads, and I just wasn't enjoying it, and I couldn't figure out why. And so I got these leads, and they are so beautiful to use. So I have been using the dark brown, and then I really wanted to have the white as well because I like to blend the white on top. So I got this Kohinoor lead holder, which I don't really love. I think I might switch it to a wooden one or something. But yeah, I've been really enjoying using those. So then this here is a Sennelier ink brush, and it is in the iridescent, I think it's just the silver or just iridescent, you know, pearlescent one. And you can see here, this is, I really like to use the Wink of Stella brushes, and then this is kind of the same thing, so just kind of going over those leads and things like that, and just giving it a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of movement. Okay, so now we're on to brushes, and I really love getting some new brushes for Christmas. There's just something about different brushes. Like this one here is not for watercolor, it is more for acrylics or oils, but like look how large it is, and then this one is a mop, and you can also use this for blending acrylics and oils, but also for watercolor. Then the next one is a Da Vinci liner, which is a number 10. I have the number 2 in this and I absolutely love it. I've been wanting the number 10. You can see I haven't like gotten the gum arabic out of the bristles yet, but yeah, I actually find that I still like the number 2 better. And then this one here is another one for it's another stippler, but I just find these so exciting and inspiring. Like, you know, what do people use them for? You know, the fact that there are different brushes, there's different sizes, different, you know, ways to paint and ways to think about how to, you know, use the brushes and different applications. I find it one of the most exciting things that you know, you're kind of taught to paint a certain way or told certain things to do, but then there's so many possibilities. Like they make so many brushes, which is just, I just love it. Anyway, so this next section is like a haul that my sister got me. So you can see here that the bee, it's like a bee paper sketchbook, cotton paper sketchbook. You can see how thick it is compared to the white Ibis, and it's bigger. And this is also really beautiful, and it's got thin paper, so it does go through, but like I like to just stick the pages together, and the fact that there's so many pages and you can just kind of use it and not be precious with it, I really like that. Then this is the, so she got me these Derwent watercolors. I'm not exactly sure. I think they don't really say what they are, but I feel like they're tinted charcoal or something like that. They feel a little bit more like, you know, the art graph. It might be tinted graphite or something like that, but they're quite beautiful and quite enjoyable to use. So I just kind of did this actually Christmas afternoon. We were just sitting down there, and yeah, I just had a little bit of a play with these. She got me some acrylic gouaches as well, so you can see that she knows my colour palette very well. I have, I think, 3 or 4 other acrylic gouaches. I think that she also either got me or urged me to get back in the day, which I don't really reach for. I really love this. I love a good ruby red, and yeah, I've used this one quite a bit already. But yeah, so I was saying to her that I don't use them much, and she said, you need to be more diverse. You need to, you know, try a few new things. But yeah, I think I just like the ease of use for the watercolors, and the fact that then you've got to like change brushes and things like that as well. But it is nice to have that kind of extra layer. But anyway, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I do love them. I love the colours. And so you can see here like how beautifully these Derwent, like they're laying down really nicely with this brush. I'll show you when I did it, when I used them with the water brush. They're very, very streaky on this same paper, and this is why I highly recommend, if you're only going to get one good brush to use for watercolor, I highly recommend this one, the Escoda Reserva. It's just such a beautiful brush, and it really makes a difference to the way that your watercolors just lay down on the page, and you know, the coverage and the rate that it kind of is letting the watercolor go onto the paper, and it's very smooth. Anyway, yeah, I really like it. But you can see, like, from these, I'm kind of trying it with, like, I'm adding watercolor in, it's not really moving, they don't flow into each other, so they are a different kind of a material than watercolor. And then these are really beautiful. So these are Diane Townsend Terrages. The rectangular flat ones are Terrages, and they have pumice in them. And then the round ones are the soft form, so they're just more like a soft pastel. Yeah, you can see here I did some preliminary swatches in the little sketchbook we were using for Christmas, and she did also get me some of those Daler Rowney aquafines as well. But you can see the beautiful colours of the pastels here, and I got these from the Fine Art Studio in Rochester. So they are really beautiful. There's a lot of coverage there, and you can see, like, I just generally will use my finger, but always after using pastels I feel like the air is a little bit hard to breathe, so I don't use them that often. So that is just something to be aware of if you're thinking of using them. I know that Paper Fashion, so she used to be Paper Fashion, I think Katie Rogers, and she used to live in New York, and now she's moved to New Mexico, but she is so inspiring, and she uses them a lot, and she said now she uses a full-on gas mask when she uses them, because she got really, really sick from them. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of. And I'm just kind of just trying them out here, having a little play. And then I wanted to kind of try out both of these brushes again. So this is the number 2 liner, and I do find that, like, for my work, I like this one. I like the fact that, like, you know, so we've talked about, you know, loosening up your style and things like that, and how to, and one of the things is to find a different kind of a brush, so one where you don't have as much control, and this is a really good one for something like that. It's also good for line work because it's holding so much paint, and you know, you can paint like long, you know, for a long time without running out of the color. Then this is the thicker one, and yeah, I think this would be better for, you know, more large scale works. Like, I couldn't get the detail that I wanted with this one. Still a beautiful brush, just different, you know, different times to use them. Other than that, so I just kind of have a little play here, but other than that, not really a lot been happening here. Like, we got sick, so I think, and I've been watching a lot of, like, knitting podcasts. I've been really enjoying knitting podcasts, especially like Knitting Traditions. There was a new one, Ancestral Craft or something like that. She does basket weaving, and it was really lovely. And those abandoned castle ones as well, getting like ideas for interiors and things like that. So we do paint this like little present from the freebie, and yeah, but so I think just my dad got sick, I think the week before Christmas, and then my sister and I were kind of running around doing a lot of stuff, and then we both got sick as well. And I think every few years, like, our whole family gets sort of some kind of a bronchial, you know, because it's so cold. And we've been pretty good actually the last couple of years, and then yeah, just really getting hit hard. Not yeah, so anyway, that's been fun. But yeah, I'm glad to be feeling better. And yeah, but it was actually really nice. So going like Christmas, I think it was Christmas Eve, my sister and I did Whole Foods shopping, and my dad was off kind of doing some stuff for the boys and organising, you know, Christmas stuff. And so there, it was so packed. There were just people everywhere, and it was really nice. Like, it's been I don't know if it's just me, but since the pandemic, I feel like it's pretty difficult going. Like, it's not really my favourite thing going shopping. Everyone's, you know, on edge, and but everyone was just seemed to be in a really good spirit. And then my sister grabbed, like, she spent quite a long time collecting, you know, flowers and kind of hyacinth blues and violets and peaches, and then when we were at the checkout, she actually gave some to the lady. There's an old lady behind us, and the girl that was serving us at the checkout, which was really nice. And yeah, so anyway, it was quite nice. And then we got sick, so it wasn't that great. And I've been really enjoying watching Sandy Hester as well. So she's fairly new to me. Some of you probably know who she is, but I only found her recently, and yeah, I really love just the way that she does things and sees things, and her enthusiasm and excitement about everything. It's really, really lovely. And she mostly works like in acrylics. It's a different medium, but it's just really nice. Like, it's really yeah, inspiring. Really like it. And I think I probably should do a video about artists that inspire me. And I don't even know if I've ever really said my favorite artist. If you ask me my favorite, it would be Claire Basler. So I'm going to link her as well below. I absolutely love her. She's not on YouTube. She's just an artist. She lives in a French chateau, and she paints murals, and just her work is incredible. And she also uses like gold foil, like gold gilding behind them. So I love her work. You can see here like the streaky with the water brush versus how like nice and evenly they go on there with the Escoda. So that is the difference. And then you can see like this paper, like, it goes through quite a bit. So I just usually like to put a bit of washi or put a bit of like double-sided tape behind it just along the bottom row, and just, you know, put those pages together. And there are so many pages in here as well that, you know, there's a lot of freedom to be able to do that. You can see also this glass that my sister got me as like a little water cup from Anthropology. So, and then in here I replaced so every year I get like a new Apica notebook from Jet Pens, just a blank one. And then I also got this Tomoe River A6 dot grid. So it's a really thin notebook because the Tomoe River paper is really thin. You can see here like just the new blank one, which I love having a new blank one to kind of start the year. But this is the Pilot, what am I saying? This is the Tomoe River paper, and I just kind of tried it. I always think, you know, maybe I will, you know, like watercolor better on it. I know a lot of people do, but yeah, I just like it better on the Apica paper. And then here are some nanos. So the middle one is the Toffee, which I got years ago. I think it was my first Chic Sparrow. And then the one on the right is a Hemingway. and you can see like it's just some little notebooks in here. And then the one on the left I got for Christmas, this one here. So I've got this little Life Noble notebook in here. It's just a nice little thin notebook with cream paper. It's really nice paper. And then I took one of the little moleskins out of the other one just to put in here as well. And yeah, it's the Maverick. It's a dark brown Maverick leather, which is just so beautiful. And then this one is the Hemingway one, and I have little scraps of fabric in this one, some of my favourite fabrics, and just to use this as a little needle book, because I just always find that I'm losing them, so like for pins and for needles and things like that. And I really like the way this works out as well. I know a lot of people use nanos as wallets as well, or you could use it as like a little art one. Yeah, but just a really nice little thing. And so yeah, that's that. But so here we have the warm green on the right, and then the composed green, the Holbein composed green on the left. And you can also see like the mint there, which I actually think I do like the Holbein composed green just a little bit better. But you can see there also the strawberry, like the Lutea versus the Art Graph, and then there's the cool tourmaline and the Citadella grey from Wallace and Seymour. So I just wanted kind of a comparison of the greys there, and I think if you are beginning, you know, the Art Graph or the Daniel Smith black tourmaline is a good substitute for that. And yeah, so I have 3 different palettes that we do also have to swatch out. This one here is kind of my studio palette, and then we have this one, which is the Old Masters palette, which is finally complete. I'm so happy about this. These have been a couple of years in the kind of making and collecting colours and things like that. And then this one here is the Handmade palette, which I again have been collecting all year, and probably some of these are from last year as well. And yeah, so I am nearly finished that one and excited to swatch that as well. And then one of the next videos, maybe next week or maybe the week after, will be about the Matryoshkas. So I'm kind of just slowly working through these, and then I'll add all the, you know, footage together. But that is pretty much it for today, guys. So I think I'm just gonna be doing one video a week for a while, so it'll be between Thursday and Saturday. I usually like to try to get them up on Thursday, but yeah, it will be somewhere between there. And so I will see you guys next week. I'll leave you with a little bit of footage from Christmas. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention is if you are going to use, you know, buy any of the things from Jackson's, try and use the affiliate links below. You don't have to just purchase those things. You can, you know, shop for anything. But I'd like to ask Jackson's to see if they'll stock the Holbein White Ibis and also the gold nibs. I do like to support local shops, but I know that not everyone is in America, so it's harder to get some of the things. So you know, it's a good place for everyone to get sort of good rate at shipping. And so yeah, so you know, obviously like they will want to know kind of if people are interested to use the affiliate links and to buy the products that I recommend. So for this month, please try and use them, and then I will, at the end of the month, I will try and ask them if they will stock the White Ibis and the gold nibs. I know they've sold out like 7 times on Jet Pen, so I know you guys like them, but I think that would be a good place to get them as well. Okay, have a really lovely week, and I will see you next week. Bye.